we're a little bit late coming on the air here tonight, but between 7:05 and 7:15, we'll probably lengthen that to 7:20. Okay, we have citizen query tonight just to make sure we can fit that all in. Right now is about, we have a little feedback there, 7:09 right now. So, first thing on the agenda is Chairman's comments. And just, Chris, if you can tune in, I am going to hit my iPad here and just let it go into slideshow. Hopefully it works. There we go. That is the 9/11 memorial that was placed. That's a picture of Bella. Well, we'll just talk as I let the pictures go. But on Saturday at 1 o'clock, we went out to Pleasant and Cross Street, and we had a ceremony to remembrance the 11th anniversary to remember 9/11. And while we were out there, I would say probably 150, maybe 200 people showed up for the memorial service. And Bob Merry, Bob Hagopian, Reverend Bob Hagopian, Fire Chief Broderick, they put this memorial service together, and it really was something else to be there. We also had Congressman Tierney, who came and read letters from both Senator Brown and from Senator Kerry. Also, State Senator Bruce Tarr was there, and Bruce did a fantastic job, as he always does, and he talked about the first responders, very touching sentiments. And Reverend Bob, you can see him right there, and Reverend Bob spoke, gave the invocation, benediction, and as you can see, there's the memorial. One of the things, as you will see when we get back, you'll see Ladder 1, and one of the things about Ladder 1, what is unique to Raleigh, is that when we picked up Ladder 1, that came from New York, and that fire truck was at the 1993 World Trade bombing. So we really have a tie-in with New York and 9/11 in the World Trade Center. And as you can see Ladder 1 there, and there's Ladder 1. It's hard to believe that truck responded in 1993 and is now part of the Raleigh Fire Department. And you see that picture, that's Bella's mom and dad, and there's Bella on the right, and that was her sister Sophia. And there's Ladder 1 and Old Glory flying there. And there's Bella talking, and Bella won the contest in the Pine Grove School, and that's her poem at the bottom of the memorial, and that's the piece of steel that came from the World Trade Center. As you can see, quite a few people showed up to hear, and there's Bella again speaking, and she was adorable. She did a great job. And we had a number of speakers that day, and as you can see, there's the unveiling, and Bob could tell you, and right down the street, looking down Pleasant Street, the Trentinis lived right down there on the right, as most of you know. And the man in the powder blue shirt, that's Dick Olson. And again, there's Old Glory. And looking at getting ready for the unveiling, some of these pictures came in on the sequence. There's the memorial. There's the old memorial in the foreground, and then in the back is the new memorial. And there's Bill Gaynor, a cemetery commissioner. Bill came up with an interesting fact. One of the people who were buried in Raleigh was a victim of the 1988 Pan Am 103 terrorist attack. The plane went down in Lockerbie, Scotland. The young man is buried here. He was only 20 years old when he was killed on Pan Am 103. Christopher Jones was his name. I'm sorry, I forgot his name. And there's the flag of honor with all the victims' names on it that flies up in the auditorium. We brought it there at the memorial site, and it was at half staff for the ceremony. And again, you can see this is a memorial, and there that flag wrapped the piece of steel all the way from New York City, all the way till it came here. And Bob, you have any other comments to make about that?
No, basically, it was a very rewarding project. We started in 2011. What was interesting about the steel from New York was that the majority of it was by the courts, both the New York court system and the federal court system, held all that steel as evidence.
Wow.
And towards the middle of 2011, they gave permission to release some of it. And that's when we decided to try to get a piece from it. And we applied for it. We had to actually send a letter in and talk to the right people and apply for it. And through the fire department had some reserve steel that they were making available to other fire departments. And we got our piece through that process. And actually went down to Randall's Island in New York City, which is the fire academy, New York Fire Academy, and met a gentleman there who actually came out and went into it. They were kept in a caged area and actually cut us a piece of steel with a blowtorch right there. We've got pictures of them cutting it. And that's what you see on the monument as of today. What was interesting is the piece of stone that we used, is a piece of granite, came from part of the bridge projects that we did after the Mother's Day storm, and we lost 3 bridges. And the piece of steel that we brought back fit that piece of granite perfectly, as you can see in the pictures. And the only way we could mount it was the way that we did, and that's with the web in the center being vertical. And as you step back and look at that, you can almost see the 2 World Trade Centers side by side there. Very moving. It's just, and like I said, it was a very interesting project, a very rewarding project, at least for me, to put this together.
Well, Bob, you did a great job, and Reverend Bob and the chief.
Yeah.
It was a very touching and very moving ceremony on Saturday, and you really did a fine job, all 3 of you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
And if you get to look at it again, you'll notice there's 2 coins at the very top of the monument. And those are World Trade Center, what they call challenge coins. You being in the military service know what a challenge coin is. So that's a single coin, and we use 2 of them to do the face and the back of it, so that it would be on there. And that symbolizes, as we can see them now, they're there. That symbolizes the emergency response people that responded to the tragedy and the ones that lost their lives. So for a little town like Raleigh, to lose 3 people, that's a big deal. I think this is a fitting tribute to them and to the town of Raleigh.
I want to thank everybody who came out that day and attended the ceremony. It was very touching. What can you say? It's hard to believe that it's been 11 years tomorrow.
Right.
And I think all of us remember where we were on that day, and I think we'll always remember, until our last breath, where we were that day. So, Chris, you can move back, and I'll turn off the iPad here. If I can. That'd be a good idea if I turn it around and read it. There we go. Okay. There we go. Okay, just as a afternote, the Raleigh Community Media on Comcast Channel 9 and Verizon Channel 26, the September 11th Memorial Dedication Ceremony of this year will be shown at the following time. So if you want to get a pencil, I'll wait till you get a pencil and a paper at home there. You want to write this down. But the program length was about 41 minutes and approximately 42 minutes long. And the schedule will go as follows. Tonight it showed at 6 p.m. Tomorrow it will show at 1 a.m., 6 a.m., 1 p.m., and 6:30 p.m. Then on Wednesday, it will show at 1 a.m., 8 a.m., 1 p.m. and 6:30 p.m. and 9 p.m. And again, it's hard to believe a little town, as Bob said, a little town like Raleigh had 3 people on Flight 11. And then we just learned about Christopher Jones, who was on Pan Am Flight 103, who was buried here. And I said, it seems like we just can't get away from terrorism, even in a small town like this. So, again, I want to thank everybody for coming out and showing up. I know I'm speaking for the Board of Selectmen. It was a very touching ceremony and a great way to remember Trentini's and Laurie Olson, Neary. So, again, thank you so much. And if you have a chance, please watch that, the ceremony. It, again, is very touching ceremony. Very well done. You did a great job, Bob. Good stuff.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on. Okay. It is now 20 after, and citizen query is now over. And first on the agenda, we have a 7:15 appointment, but we're 5 minutes behind, so the treasurer collector is here for an appointment. Karen, do you want to come forward? Karen, we have 2 Karens. Karen, you put your chair up. Okay, again, we have the treasurer collector, Karen Summit, to present new assistant treasurer collector for the Board of Selectmen appointment. Karen Summit has appointed Karen O'Donnell Nicholson for the position of assistant treasurer collector effective September 11th, 2012. In accordance with Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 41, Section 39A, the Board of Selectmen must approve this appointment. Any questions from the board?
No.
Any comments?
Very good choice.
Yes, very good choice.
I'd like to say we're very happy to have Karen move into her new position. She's been with us since last November, and she's works very well with the staff here at Town Hall and with the townspeople, and we're lucky to have her around in this new capacity.
Yes, we are.
Thank you.
Well, with that, do I have a,
I'll make a motion that we appoint treasurer and collector's assistant, new assistant, Karen O'Connell Nicholson, the position.
do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous. Welcome
you.
aboard, officially.
Thank you.
Okay, so, that's it.
Gotta go back to work.
You gotta go back to work now. So,
Thank you.
Karen, thank you. Congratulations. Welcome.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank
We'll see you
you.
across the hall. Okay. All right. That's the first order of business done. Okay, general business. General business,
Okay.
the United Nations proclamation, vote and sign. Okay, United Nations Association of Greater Boston. Okay, dear Selectmen, every year the United Nations and its family of agencies work to improve people's lives throughout the world through peace building, environmental sustainability, emergency relief, human rights, and global health work. We invite you to join this year in recognizing the important work of the UN on October 24th, 2012, the 67th anniversary of the United Nations. Since 1947, every U.S. president, beginning with Harry Truman, has issued a proclamation asking citizens to observe this special occasion. This year's celebration focuses on the topics of the United Nations Solutions for a Prosperous World. We hope you will recognize October 24th, 2012 as United Nations Day and ask other interested individuals, groups, and schools in your community to participate in UN Day activities. To mark the day, we encourage you to issue a UN Day proclamation, sample enclosed for an electronic version. Okay, email information at unagb.org. Please mail the proclamation to UNA-GB. Notify local newspapers so they can publish the proclamation on UN Day. Fly the United Nations flag. Encourage educators to conduct model UN simulations. Encourage libraries to show displays on the United Nations. We will feature all the proclamations that we receive at Boston City Hall in Massachusetts State House during UN Day public events. The proclamations will also be on display at our annual UN Day luncheon on Monday, October 29th in downtown Boston, where more than 250 business and community leaders will gather to recognize the importance of global engagement. Please let us know if you are interested in attending any of these events. UNA-GB will also be pleased to provide any additional assistance to you or other interested community leaders in planning a local UN celebration. For ideas about how your town can commemorate UN Day or further information, please contact UNA-GB office at 617-482-4587. We are looking forward to receiving your proclamation and ask you the most successful UN Day 2012. Sincerely, Richard Golub, President, UNGB. Proclamation. Whereas the United Nations was founded in 1945 and the anniversary of that day on which the UN Charter came into force, we observe each year October 24th. And whereas the United Nations promotes peace, insecurity, development, democracy, economic prosperity, global health, human rights around the world, and is as vital now more than ever. And whereas the United Nations works to achieve the Millennium Development Goals by providing common development strategy for the international community, improving coordination, coherence, and effectiveness within the UN system, the donor community, and developing countries. And whereas the goals address universal issues from poverty and access to education to improving healthcare and environmental sustainability, and enjoying unprecedented political support because they are specific and measurable, with a deadline and indicators for monitoring progress attached to each goal. And whereas the United States has a long tradition of leading international groups to improve health, education, and economic growth in developing countries that have shown its commitment to the Millennium Development Goals through foreign assistance, progressive trade initiatives, and debt relief measures. And whereas bipartisan poll conducted in April revealed that more than 8 out of 10 voters say it is important that the United States maintain an active role within the UN. Whereas the UNA-USA and United Nations foundations have declared United Nations Solutions for a Prosperous World as the theme for the 2012 United Nations commemoration. Whereas the United Nations Association of Greater Boston is committed to educating and mobilizing for local communities to build a strong network of global citizens and leaders to create a more prosperous, just, and sustainable world. Whereas the citizens of Raleigh, Massachusetts should participate in any activities related to UN Day. Now, therefore, I, Robert Snow, Chairman of the Board of Selectmen, officially proclaim October 24th, 2012 as United Nations Day, in witness whereof I have set my hand and caused the seal of Raleigh, Massachusetts to be affixed on this 10th day of September in the year of 2012. With that, do I have a motion from the board?
So move.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That's official.
Mr. Chairman, the chair of the library board, Janet Peabody, is here, and as I discussed earlier, perhaps the board could take new business 1 and 2 out of order,
Sure.
so that we could accommodate their schedule, so they don't have to wait.
Janet? Sure.
as a candidate for trustee for one of our vacant positions.
Okay. I gotta find, come on down. I gotta find out where in my packet here. Okay,
New business number one.
new business number one. Okay, discuss point. Okay, let me put that over here, otherwise I'll lose it. Okay. Board of Select needs to vote to fill the vacancy on the Board of Library Trustees as a result of the resignation of David Masher this past June. 2 town residents have sent letters in seeking to be appointed to vacant seats. Eva Marie Miller of 51 Bennett Hill Road,
She's not here this evening, she'll be here next week.
and Michael Quinn of 18 School Street. Both individuals have submitted letters of interest and resumes. There is a second vacancy which will be filled by a joint meeting of the Board of Selectmen and Board of Library Trustees on September 17th, 2012. This will be discussed further as new business number 2, which will be this. Okay. Well, Janet, now, here we go. I had to make it official then.
Okay, very good, thank you for seeing us. We'd like to present Michael Quinn, he's here with us tonight to fill the position left vacant by David Masher. And I don't know if Michael wants to say anything about why he would like to be on the board.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it'd be a good opportunity. I've always really been in history and politics. I feel like that's a step to kind of see how it kind of works a little bit more closely.
Okay.
And I'm organizing a poetry slam over there, and I feel like getting close to the library would help me do that as well, and continue to keep that running. So I think it'd be kind of cool if that would be something that would be constant around here.
That sounds good. Any questions from the board?
No, look at his resume, it looks very
It
good.
looks very good, very appropriate. So, do I have a motion? Or do I have anything from the former library?
Mr. Chairman,
Okay.
I move that we vote to appoint Michael Quinn of 18 School Street to the opening on the Board of Library Trustees.
I have
Second it?
a motion, I have it seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
It is
Abstain.
official. Okay. Okay, Michael, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Thank you
so much.
Good luck. I'm sure you will enjoy.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
You may.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay. Janet, you need it for the second one too, right? Okay, so we'll take this out of order. Okay. Letter from the Library Board of Trustees regarding another vacant seat on the Board of Library Trustees. Board of Library Trustees Secretary Ellen Silkman has submitted written notification via email that Joe Perry has resigned from the Board of Library Trustees. Mr. Perry's resignation was filled with the town clerk on August 27th, 2012. The Board of Selectmen needs to vote to accept the resignation of Joseph Perry, post a notice of vacancy, and call for a joint meeting with the Board of Library Trustees for Monday, September 17th, 2012 at 7:15 p.m. For the purpose of filling the vacant seat with the registered voter of the town. First, do I have a motion to accept the resignation of Joseph Perry?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we accept the resignation of Joseph Perry as library trustee with deep regrets.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain.
Aye. With deep regrets, aye. Okay. Now, second, post a notice of vacancy. Do we need to vote on that, Debbie?
Well, yes, you could have just made it one motion,
Okay.
if you wanted to, but just to make notice and to schedule the joint meeting.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I move we post a notice for the vacancy and call for a joint meeting with the Board of Library Trustees for Monday, September 17th, 2012 at 7:15 p.m. for the purpose of filling the vacancy with a registered voter of the town.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain. Dennis has to get sworn in.
Excuse me? I'm sorry?
Dennis has to get sworn in.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, typically the
Michael.
okay.
the selectmen's administrative secretary will send a notice to the town clerk, and you can then.
Okay, so we're all set, and we will have a joint meeting on the 17th. Sounds good.
Very good. Thank you very much.
See you then. Thank you. Thank you again for your time.
Thank you.
Okay, have a good night. Okay. Let's get back to okay, general business number 2, signed collective bargaining agreement between the town of Raleigh, Mass. And Coalition for Police, Local 360. The Board of Selectmen and the Massachusetts Coalition of Police, Local 360, signed a memorandum of agreement in March. The collective bargaining agreement document incorporates the language in the MOA. The Board of Selectmen needs to vote and sign a collective bargaining agreement. Has everyone looked over the agreement?
Well, Mr. Chairman, this just, the memorandum of agreement has already been signed. So these are just the comments and the changes have now been added in to the document. So
Okay,
the MOA went into effect.
It went into
when
effect.
it was signed. So
okay,
this is the formality of just signing the collective bargaining agreement. That's why it's under general business.
okay, sign here. Do I have a motion to sign the agreement?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So we all have to sign, correct?
Yes.
Bob? Okay.
Whatever. Picture.
Thank you. Okay. Moving on, designate a selectman to participate in the Sales and Trails Jeopardy game.
Representative and backup.
In backup? Okay, so, selectman in backup for the Sales and Trails event. Richard Hydron from the Chamber of Commerce has asked if a representative of the Board of Selectmen would like to participate in Jeopardy game being held as part of Sales and Trails event. This event is being held upstairs in the Town Hall on Sunday, September 23rd at 1 o'clock. During the September 10th, 2012 Selectmen's meeting, can you please nominate a Selectman representative and backup who are interested in participating in this event? Thank you, Amy. Okay. Open a discussion.
I nominate our fearless leader.
I need to make a declaration in that I have to recuse myself, in that I am, at this very moment, not too long ago, was reviewing the questions for accuracy.
You sound like the perfect person to answer
You'd be
that.
our first choice to serve us.
My first choice anyways.
Joe, I'll second your motion. Actually, I've already recused myself, but it's kind of what's called self-preservation.
Well, what are the questions on?
Basically, history of the town history.
This could be very embarrassing. Okay. What are you all looking at me for?
Do you accept our,
Very convenient that you read the questions in advance.
I was asked to do that as part of the process of putting it together.
do you accept our nomination?
Do I have a choice?
No.
No.
Mr. Chairman, Joan Peterson is slated to be the moderator of the Jeopardy game.
How
So
appropriate.
we'll have a
She's-
feeling like of town meeting.
It'd be like town meeting. A little bit of, a little different tone. Okay, I will accept the nomination. I think we need to vote.
We had a motion
We have
and
a
a
motion,
second.
now second. We have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, now back up.
You have 2 weeks
I,
to go to
uh,
the library.
I will nominate our past library director chairman, who should know all of the ins and outs of the town of Raleigh by now.
Sounds very good to me.
Second that.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor? Aye.
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 Congratulations. Welcome on board. Is this going to be televised?
Yes.
Oh. What? Okay, how long do I have to phone up?
I
The
recommend you
23rd.
read the book.
I have two weeks at the library.
Read that book that, on the history of Rowley that Bob Mary.
Yeah, a lot of the answers may be in the Images of America book, if you read that. That would be a good study manual.
Images of America.
I have a feeling
Images
right
of
beside
Raleigh.
my bed is going to be the history of Raleigh.
Images of America Raleigh edition. Raleigh
Okay.
edition, yeah.
That's good. Okay. Joe, we got 2 weeks to hone up,
Yes.
okay? All right. Otherwise, it could be bad. Well, for me anyways. Okay. Moving on. Designate us, well, we did that. Sorry about that. It's okay. Discuss request to distribute funds for the Henderson Charitable Trust to the Raleigh Food Pantry in HAWC. Okay. Town of Accountant Sue Bailey and Treasurer Collector Karen Summit are recommending that the Board of Selectmen approve donations from the Henderson Charity and Worthy Poor Trust to be made to the following: $100 to the Raleigh Food Pantry and $100 to the Healing Abuse Working for Change, HAWC. This is the annual disbursement from these trusts. The Board of Selectmen needs to vote. Do I have a motion from the board? Any discussion first?
Well, Mr. Chairman, this is something, I'm not sure that we've done it for the food pantry. I'm sure we have in the past, but the Healing Abuse Working for Change, HAWC is the
Yes, HAWC.
acronym. We've been doing this for a long, long time,
Actually, both of those
yeah.
organizations have received
Funds
funds out of these two trusts.
But I know back in 1999, we were doing the HAWC donations, so.
Okay.
It's been a while, and it's a worthy charity for both of them, the pantry and the HAWC,
Yes. Very worthy charities.
so.
Okay.
You need a motion?
I need a motion.
I move that we donate $100 to the Raleigh Food Pantry and $100 to the Healing Abuse Working for Change program from the Henderson Charitable Trust.
I have a motion. Do I have a
Second.
second? I have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Two worthy causes. Moving on to set the Board of Selectmen meeting schedule, October, November, December. Excuse me. Board of Selectmen is scheduled to have a meeting on the remaining Mondays in September, the 17th and 24th of September. The Board of Selectmen needs to set the schedule for the final quarter of the calendar. The meetings the following is suggested list of meeting dates: October 1st, October 15th, October 22nd, October 29th, November 5th, November 19th, November 26th, December 3rd, December 10th, and December 17th. Town offices will be closed on the following days: October 8th, Columbus Day, and November the 12th in honor of Veterans Day, which falls on the 11th this year and is celebrated the next day. Okay, during the Christmas, New Year holiday season break, which runs from between Monday, December 24th, through Tuesday, January the 11th, the board can hold a midweek meeting if necessary to address any unexpected issues that may arise during that time. Does the board have any problem with the dates that I read off?
No, they should be fine. The only one that I won't be able to make would be October 1.
October 1? Okay.
And I won't be here on October 15th.
Okay. Other than that, everything looks up to snuff? Okay, do I have a motion? Okay.
I'll make the motion.
For the following? Okay.
For the following dates that you mentioned
Okay.
for our meetings.
Thanks, Stu. I have a
Second.
motion. I have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. We did that. Letter from Triton, School Superintendent Crystal Farmer, classroom size, reference list on the town website. Letter from the Triton School Superintendent Crystal Farmer, reference class size references list on town website. Chairman Snow received a letter from Superintendent Farmer regarding a list of references and two articles on the classroom size placed on the town website. Dear Bob, the town website continues to include a list of references to articles related to classroom size. I believe that the reference should be to class size. As far as I am aware, the Board of Selectmen has not asked for any input from the school district on this matter. I'm wondering if you could shed light on the purpose and status of the articles. Well, sincerely, Christopher Farmer, Superintendent of Schools. And we discussed this last year when Mr. Cummings was on the board. And it was suggested, as we were talking at that particular time, about class size, and Mr. Cummings brought, at the time, he was Selectmen, brought much data up and asked for it to be put on the town website so that the local people could see it and investigate anything about class size. Now, having said that, this has been up on the website since
End of February.
end of February, so it is now a new school year. So, any discussion from the board?
Just a comment that I would agree that with Superintendent Farmer that the articles do relate to class size, not classroom size, but I think that's being kind of picky. That the Board of Selectmen has not asked for any input. Selectman Cummings volunteered to make this information available and to post it on the website. It was approved by the Board of Selectmen. And we did not seek any other, and no one else came forward to make any further contributions, so that was where it was left.
I think it's well said, Joe. Any other comments?
No.
Well, I think it's a new school year right now, and as we go forward, and I think it's run its course on the website, so I don't see to keep it up there unless we have. I probably look for additional data to put up if we find something. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and Joe, you are the school representative, so as we go forward into the school year, and anything comes up, then to bring it before the board, and we'll discuss it, and if necessary, put it on the website, so that the townspeople can see. Okay.
Mr.
I would
Chairman,
agree.
If I could make a comment?
Sure.
maybe we should change it from classroom size to class size. And if any other information does come along, we could post it to that heading for the
Okay.
citizens to, if they were interested in reviewing
Okay.
that.
Does the board feel that it should remain up? We just change the heading? If that's the case, then we can.
Well, I
leave
mean,
it
if we
open.
don't have any additional information, I think that the townspeople have had certainly had an ample time to check into that and read what we have up there already.
Okay.
So if we don't have any information coming forward, then maybe we could take it down. But if we don't do that, then maybe we should just change it to class size and instead of classroom size.
Okay. Any other discussion from the board? Any thoughts? Do you want to leave it up for another 2 weeks and think about it?
Well, why don't we ask the citizens that are watching tonight if they feel that they would like some information on class sizes?
Okay.
To maybe drop us a line, you send us an email to the website, and we could research and maybe put some more information up if that's what their request is.
Yeah, that would be
If
helpful.
we don't hear from anybody, then maybe we could take it down.
Okay. And we want to change that from classroom size to class size?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think as Joe has pointed out, it is kind of semantics, but it does reference rooms, which, I'm assuming most of the rooms are all the same size anyway.
Sure.
Typically, when you build a school, that's what you do, but,
True.
so it is technically class size that we would do.
Class size.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
I agree to leave it up for a couple of weeks. and
Well, let's
see if
leave-
There's some input
well,
from the
Go.
citizens.
I think that's wise. Okay. So, well, you probably need to vote just to change that, the language, correct, Debbie?
If the board would like to make a motion, that's fine, otherwise we'll just
Yep.
make an editorial change.
Make a motion to change from classroom size to class size.
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
All right.
Aye.
And to leave it up, okay?
Mhm.
All right. And again, anybody at home, please, who's listening, and you have any input, please send that to the Selectmen's office, okay? Thank you very much. Okay, moving on. Memo from the Triton School Committee Chairperson, Dina Sullivan, District Communications Committee. The Board of Selectmen has received a memo from the Triton Regional School District Committee Chairperson Dina Sullivan regarding District Communications Committee. The school committee is replacing the Triton Budget Advisory Committee with a District Communications Committee. The District Communications Committee consists of the following: one school committee representative from each of the three towns, one selectman from each of the three towns, one finance committee member for each of the three towns. The District Communications Committee is scheduled to meet on Thursday, September 27th, 2012, 7 p.m. in the district office conference room. The agenda is attached. Joe, you are a representative of the school? Okay.
I think that I sat in on the meeting that this was proposed. I did go to most of the Triton Budget Advisory Committee meetings last year, and I thought this was a good idea proposed by the school committee, that it makes it a little bit more formal. They did want to stipulate that the meetings are open to the public. Anybody can attend the meetings, but they did want to have one school committee representative from each town attending, one selectman from each of the three towns, and one finance committee. It just gives a solid base of 9 people that will be attending the meetings, where you have various people showing up at various times during the year. And I thought it was a great idea.
Yeah, I think 9 members, just, it's manageable.
And especially where it is available and open to the public, and other people can attend up at the Triton Regional High School Library.
Any other comments from the board? Thoughts? Anything? Okay. Joe, keep us informed. Okay, I know you will. You always do a good job. Okay. memo from the Town Administrator Deborah Egan, Brad Street House and Barn disposition. RFP for disposition of 239 Main Street. I received 2 responses to my request for proposal for disposition of the historic Brad Street House and Barn. The proposals are as follows. Mitchell Hardy and Sue Bailey, $26,000. 2, Michael Sabatini, $285,000 and $1. I'm sorry, and $1. Mrs. Sabatini's proposal meets all the minimum evaluation requirements. After evaluating Mr. Sabatini's proposal to the comparative evaluation criteria, I consider Mr. Sabatini's price proposal of $285,001 to be considered advantageous. Mr. Sabatini's proposal is responsive and responsible, and his price proposal is advantageous because it meets the appraised price of $285,000. Mr. Sabatini has included in his proposal a list of local historic properties which he has restored. I recommend that the Board of Selectmen award the sale of 239 Main Street, the Brad Street Historic House, and the barn, Mr. Sabatini of 15 Hammond Street, Raleigh, in the amount of $285,001, in accordance with the terms and conditions of the request for proposals. A majority vote of the Board of Selectmen is required to approve the sale to Mr. Sabatini. If the Board of Selectmen approves this sale, then Mr. Sabatini must execute a purchase and sale agreement within 30 days. A copy of the purchase and sale agreement was included in the RFP documents. The buyer must purchase the property within 45 days of the execution of the purchase and sales agreement. The historic preservation restriction, which also included in the RFP package, must be executed at the closing. Please let me know if you have any questions concerning the process. I have attached a copy of his proposal. Have you all looked over the proposal, gentlemen?
I have.
Yes,
Okay. All meet with your approval?
yes.
Yes.
Okay. In that case, will anybody give me a motion to accept it?
I'll give you the motion to accept the proposal by Michael Sabatini for the price of $285.
$85,000.
Yeah, I say, $285,000 for
Yeah,
$1.
Okay.
Sorry.
I have the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Sabatini?
Yes, sir.
Congratulations, sir.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay. So, that is concluded.
Did you get my email on Friday? I will be getting you a letter with the purchase and sale. I know it was included.
Okay,
Just-
moving
Mr. Chairman,
on.
just so I could
Oh, I'm
cover
sorry.
some details here.
Sure.
I'll be mailing now the purchase and sale, which was included in the RFP, to Mr. Sabatini. Once he receives that, he has 30 days to execute that, return that to us, and then we'll set up the closing date.
Awesome.
Okay?
Sounds great.
So we're very excited to have this project move forward. Been working on it for a long, long time.
Very excited, yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Mike.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Mike.
Congratulations.
Really nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you.
Have a great
Bye-bye.
day. Yeah, thank you, gentlemen.
Good luck.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay,
How many acres are included down there? Is that nine?
long time.
7.
Huh?
7.
7.
Seven. Just a shade under 7, almost
Wow.
7.
Okay,
6.96 or something.
They won't argue for
No,
4/10.
no.
okay. Health Department update on mosquito virus concerns in the region. Coordinator of Health Services, Frank Mangini, is unable to attend tonight's Selectmen's meeting because the Board of Health is also meeting tonight. Mr. Mangini, poor Frank, I kill his name all the time. Forgive me, Frank, okay? Reported Debbie Egan today that there have been no positive test results of either West Nile or Eastern equine encephalitis. mosquito-borne viruses in Raleigh. These results are based on Northeast Mosquito Control test results released last week. Northeast Mosquito Control conducted targeted spraying in Raleigh, south of Route 133, last week in response to triple E positive test results in the Topsville area. Just today, the Raleigh Board of Health was just notified that the town of Newbury had a positive result of triple E last week. In response to this positive test result for triple E, Northeast Mosquito Control has recommended the following for Raleigh. All the ball fields, Eris Park, Haley Field, and Veterans Field, including the area around Pine Grove School, will be barrier truck sprayed Wednesday or Thursday evening this week, depending on the weather. The Raleigh Cemetery will also be done the same evening. Triton Regional School District is in the process of sending out notifications to parents that is required 48 hours before the application can be done. The routine aerial larvicide application over the coastal salt marshes in Raleigh and the surrounding towns will be completed as scheduled. Targeted truck sprays applications were done over the weekend that included Byfield and Newbury, as well as other communities in the area. Residents are asked to contact the health department at 948-2231 for more information. The breakdown on the spread of these viruses is as follows. Triple E, Newbury, Hamilton, Peabody, Haverhill, Linfield, Topsfield, West Nile virus, Amesbury, Andover, Boxford, Groveland, Hamilton, Haverhill, Manchester, Methuen, Nahant, Newbury, Newburyport, Peabody, Salisbury, Saugus, Swampscott, Topsfield, Wenham. It is important for all residents to curtail outdoor activities during the dawn and dusk and wear mosquito repellent. So again, a word to the wise, until we have our first frost, it's important to take precautions against these pests, okay? Any comments from the board?
I think that last line should read from dusk to dawn.
Dusk, what did I say?
No, you read it
Did I read it
correctly,
correctly?
but
Okay.
it should be from dusk.
From dusk
To
to
dawn.
dawn. From dawn to dusk.
Depends on whether
Very
you want to do it
serious.
in the light or in the dark.
That's true. That's true. Okay. Did I say dusk to dawn, or did I say dawn to dusk?
No, you read it as
You read
it
it
says
correctly.
during the dawn to dusk.
Okay.
But I think it should be the other way. So,
Okay. Minutes. August 27th, 2012. Has everybody read the minutes?
Yes.
Any comments?
All of the questions that I found have been taken care of.
Okay. Do I have a second?
second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Accepted. Okay.
Mr. Chairman, can we just get a clarification? Did Selectman Mary make the motion?
For,
The minutes.
The minutes.
no. Did
Yeah, I thought you
It
made
was a
it.
second
I
by
made the motion.
Selectman
I made the motion.
Perry. Okay.
Joe seconded. Right, yeah.
Joe.
It was the second. We didn't get here the initial motion.
Yeah. That's right.
Okay, moving on. Announcements. Raleigh Food Pantry is needed donations. It's always needed donations. Okay, so this is an important part of the community. And please, as we go into the fall and into the winter, heading towards the winter months, they're going to need additional food. Especially because fuel prices will increase. There are people in our community that really need help. So if you can do anything to help this, you can drop off your food at the food pantry. It's open Tuesdays from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. and Thursdays from 5:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. Also, you can drop off at the library. There's a basket just inside the door, correct, Joe?
Correct.
Okay. Again, we have people in our community. Not everybody is doing well. So if you can remember, And the last time I talked to the people over at the food pantry, they said they could use some paper goods, tissues, and I said jellies and jams, if you can, small jars, if you do that. That would be wonderful, you can do that, take care of people within our community. It's a great outreach program. Sales and Trails event, the Joe and I event weekend of September 22nd and the 23rd? Oh, just one, oh, you're gonna be there the 23rd, we're gonna do this 2
Well, no,
days.
this is just one event during Sales and Trails.
This is a weekend event, and there's a Saturday and Sunday, and the Jeopardy is on Sunday.
Oh, I thought we were gonna be there both days. Okay.
It coincides with the
If we
last
make the
farmer's
finals.
market.
If we make the finals, that's true.
And the farmer's market is,
Okay.
the last day is on Sunday,
That's correct.
September 23rd. There was an error in this week's Boston Globe North Weekly section where it said Saturday, September 23rd, but it's Sunday.
Okay.
Jeopardy's on Sunday, but the Essex Heritage Commission has a whole a list of events slated for various North Shore communities during that weekend. So this is just,
I'm starting to sweat this already.
I'm sure you'll do fine.
Yeah, well, let's hope. Okay, the YMCA road race in downtown area on Saturday, September 29th at 9 a.m. starting Central Street and ending at the VFW. Okay, that is the Poker
road race. It's a
Poker road race.
5 mile, I believe.
5K? Is it a
5K or 5 mile? 5K.
5K? Okay, that's a road race that's run almost every year we have in town.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
that's a great event. If you're interested, to sign up and contact the YMCA and get your registration. That's a fun event to take part in. Okay. Other than that, I think we've covered everything for tonight, and we will be back next week on the 17th at 7 o'clock. So with that, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Right. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Good night, everyone. We'll see you next week. Thank you.